Aight. Normally, I would tell you all to enjoy anime and manga as they are, since both adaptations can have something special and interesting in the way they portray the story. I don't really like the whole sentiment of, actually, the manga is way better. But with that being said, Tokyo Ghoul is one of my only exceptions to that statement. The manga is just on a different plane of existence compared to the confusing mess we got as an anime. Studio Period, who is responsible for the series, who you might know from small indie shows like Naruto and Black Clover, made an insane amount of changes to the amazingly well-written story crafted by Shuei Ishida, which made it go from a beautifully fleshed out world with interesting characters left and right to a show where nothing made any sense because they left out half of the plot points while trying to rush 120 chapters into 12 episodes. And don't even get me started on Tokyo Ghoul Root A. But quickly, before we take a deep dive into Tokyo Ghoul, please like the video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell to be all up to date whenever I post a new video. Now with that being said, let's get into it. Tokyo Ghoul is a series that holds a special place in my heart. The world building was something amazing to see unfold, as it quickly goes from evil ghouls, supernatural creatures eating humans, and the good humans trying to defend themselves, to a complex story where you're left to wonder who's morally right or wrong. Is either of the sides truly good or bad? And if there will ever be an understanding between humans and ghouls. The character walking us through the story is Ken Kaneki, a shy bookworm just looking to get a piece of ass. But in a twisted turn of events, the piece of ass is out to get him. His date Rise turns out to be a ghoul, and just when she's about to munch down on him, steel pipes fall from a building, crushing them both. After he wakes up in the hospital, it is revealed that Rise's organs have been transplanted into him, making him a half-human, half-ghoul. This was perfect for the series and extremely interesting to watch him be in between the two sides in a conflict without a real middle ground. When season 1 came around, it made waves in the anime community, with most notably the best thing to have come out of the Tokyo Ghoul anime by far, that being the 10 out of 10 perfect song that took the anime world by Oh my god, it's still such a fucking banger. Unravel has got to be one of the best and most iconic openings to an anime ever. Even if you haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul, you've probably heard it somewhere. Hell, even if you haven't watched anime, there's a chance you've heard it. So we got off to a good start. Season 1 was pretty faithful to the manga in a lot of ways, and set up the story relatively well. The voice acting was great, even though at this point, I cannot look at Kaneki anymore without hearing fucking Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. But I do think people will look back onto season 1 slightly less critical because of the shit shows that was season 2 and onwards. Because looking back on it, the censorship for the first season was kind of ridiculous and overdone. Furthermore, the pacing was very quick since they compressed 65 chapters into 13 episodes, so a lot of the world building and character development was very rushed, making the characters and story feel very flat at times. Let's take Jason torturing Kaneki as an example. In the anime, there wasn't much nuance as to why the torture happens, because when Jason, Ayato and Banjo were at Anteku, they were still looking for Rise, but the reason they brought Kaneki with them was because Jason wanted a plaything, and after they took him away, it goes straight into the torture. While as in the manga, a lot more happens. All of them are specifically ordered to bring back Rise or the person that smelled like her, aka Kaneki. Once they take Kaneki back to the Aogiri hideout and put him before Tatara, he assumes that Rise is dead and states that he has no use for Kaneki because his eye is no good. He also reveals that the transplant he got from Dr. Kano that made him a half-ghoul was not an accident. He then tells Ayato that he can do with Kaneki what he pleases. Later, Banjo sneaks into his room and asks him if he wants to run away with him and a few others during the night. During the escape, they are spotted by the Bin brothers, who were standing guard, and a fight breaks out. Banjo sacrifices himself and holds them off while the others escape. And while the group runs away, Kaneki thinks about Banjo dying and runs back to save him. Then Jason arrives, having captured all the other escapees. Usually he wouldn't be here, but since Nico overheard Banjo's escape plan, he decided to stay and use this situation to give Kaneki an ultimatum. If Kaneki becomes his subordinate, he would let the rest of the escapees live, and if not, well, they would probably all die. Kaneki decides to go with Jason, thinking he saved everyone, and that he would just be doing some work for him. But he then gets introduced to Jason's torture chamber, showing a corpse in a chair. Jason then starts rambling on about RC suppressants and the only places being able to pierce a ghoul's skin, as he then jams a syringe with RC suppressants into Kaneki's eye, and only then does the torture start. The torture is roughly the same in both anime and manga, with Kaneki's fingers and toes being constantly cut off as soon as they regenerate, and a Chinese redhead centipede being put into his ear for it to continuously burrow into his brain, driving him absolutely mad. Although the anime is still incredibly terrible and dark, the manga is just on another level, being way more graphic, as Ishida does not shy away from showing any of these things. And seeing Kaneki's breakdown in the manga was just a real sight to behold, with the way that Ishida made these panels. Then towards the end, there's again some big changes made. In the anime, Jason brings in 2 adults and forces Kaneki to choose who to kill, whereas in the manga, it's the mother and her son that Jason promised to let go once Kaneki became a subordinate, making the choice exponentially more impactful. If he chooses the mother, he would have a child experience the same pain that he went through after his mother died, and if he chooses the child, he's basically killing a child. But then, with his indecision, now both are dead, and both of those deaths are on his hands. So now, with his body and mind finally completely broken, he has a chat with Rize inside of his mind, where he slowly comes to terms that he is a ghoul. In the anime, he tussles on the ground with Rize in between spider lilies, slowly blooming red, while he chomps down on her, ending with his hair instantly turning from black to white, and proclaims that he is a ghoul. And this is not a terrible way to portray this change in him, but again, in the manga, this whole scenario hits so hard because firstly, his hair doesn't just turn from black to white in an instant after his acceptance of being a ghoul. His hair slowly turns white over the span of a few days from all the torture and stress he's been going through, and has nothing to do with him becoming a ghoul. And after conversing with Rize, we come to this panel, and just wow. What a horrific panel with him just clawing at his face while he accepts his ghoul side. So yeah, in conclusion, season 1 wasn't terrible, but come on. Alright, let's do this. Tokyo Ghoul Root A. And as I said, barred the amount of censoring, Studio Period did a pretty alright job with season 1. But for whatever reason, they decided to make season 2 of the anime original, which in its own wouldn't really have been that big of a deal if the storyline wouldn't be straight up terrible and make absolutely zero sense whatsoever. Studio Period really embodied their name with this one, because this season is really just a glorified fanfiction. Throughout the season, they also just sprinkle in some events from the manga just because, but with absolutely no setup or explanation as to why these things are happening, which makes the characters and the decisions make absolutely no sense. But with that being said, welcome to how many episodes did Toka run for in Tokyo Ghoul Root A? Is it A, 1 episode? Is it B, 5 episodes? Or is it C, 3 episodes? You have 5 seconds to lock in your answer. If you chose option C, you are correct. Toka ran for 3 whole fucking episodes. Oh, I fucking can't with Tokyo Ghoul Root A, man, for fuck's sake. They tried to salvage the situation with Tokyo Ghoul Root, where they kind of followed the source material, but then again, they rushed the absolute hell out of it, especially season 4, where they compressed a total of 117 chapters into 12 episodes. With that breakneck pacing, again, the world building and character development were very rushed or just straight up left out, making it kind of fall flat since we weren't able to get invested into anything. So yeah, is the manga perfect? not fully, but we cannot deny the absolute artistry that went into making this manga. The incredible world building with beautiful symbolisms left and right, interesting character arcs you just can't help but get invested in, and just the straight up art that were the panels he crafted. These will go down as some of manga's most iconic panels, period. I think I speak for all Tokyo Ghoul fans when I say I hope we someday get a Tokyo Ghoul Brotherhood, so that this amazing story is able to get the anime adaptation it truly deserves. But that sentiment might just be a load of copium. Only time will tell. So let me know down in the comments below what your favorite parts were from the manga, or if you think that the anime was well done, don't be scared to share why that is as well. But in any case, whatever someone's opinions is, keep it civil down there. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell to be all up to date whenever I post a new video. Also check out my other videos. I recently did a video on the beautifully tragic fight that was Kakashi vs Obito, as well as a video recapping all of Jujutsu Kaisen in preparation for the Shibuya incident arc. Now with that being said, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!